Welcome back to Down to Business. This afternoon I'm talking with Judit of Harbour Pointe Retirement and Assisted Living Communities. Now, Judith, we talked a little bit about kind of how everything sets up and all the great amenities you offer your guests and kind of what really sets Harbour Pointe ahead of everybody else in the industry, really. But you kind of alluded to it in the first section about a little bit about how your marketing challenges are out there, that you're marketing to a couple of different vast demographics that are a little bit different. Each of them is in a different life phase. Walk us kind of back through those two different demographics and who you're trying to reach and kind of what you try to do to reach them and tell them about Harbour Pointe.
Well, we're looking at two demographics, of course, the 65 plus, the average age in the retirement community is 84, and really that 84-year-old is a Depression-era customer. They decided that they were never going to go to an old folks' home. They decided that they were going to stay in their homes and made their children promise they would never take them out. It's sad because the biggest reaction I get in my business is, I wished I'd done this sooner. But they're going to hang on to that idea until sometimes they don't really, they're not well enough to just come into a retirement community. They're going into skilled nursing. In our business, that senior, it's almost like word of mouth. You're going to market by, they read newspapers, and they watch television, and they talk to their friends. So the marketing is an entirely different kind of marketing than it would be to the aging boomer. They're newspaper, mailers, word of mouth, good neighbors make good friends policies, that sort of thing. And then the marketer in each of these retirement communities should be looking at really marketing to their children, and their children are that aging boomer. So they're pretty savvy. You know, they were a reading generation, but they've gone, they're going to switch from a book to a Kindle. They're going to switch from getting all their news via print and TV to the internet. So they're doing iPads, they're doing, the other technology. So marketers now really have to switch their minds into that philosophy. Maybe they're not, because remember, that 83-year-old has kids in their 60s. Yep. So they're maybe not Twittering right now, but they're emailing their grandchildren, they're doing many things. So they're pretty savvy. And they're thinking in terms of coming in a little earlier, and they will want different things. We call it the cruise ship mentality.
Gotcha.
All right? So it's a dual-edged sword. So what a marketer does is, there's an interior marketing to their existing ladies and gentlemen who are already in the retirement community and want to tell their neighbors. There's an exterior marketing, which is an educational system, because many of the professionals that seniors touch don't know enough about our industry.
Gotcha.
Then there's the outreach, and many of the jobs are called community relations, and they're spreading the work to where seniors are.
Is that like senior centers and
senior centers, restaurants, physical therapy offices, dentist offices? If they have customers who are seniors, that's how you market to them. And the community relations director really is the face of the community at all kinds of functions, professional associations, hospitals, that sort of thing, discharge planners, that sort of thing. And then there's, of course, marketing to branding with advertising. So, the job has many stages and many personalities, but at the same time, we're all trying to contact seniors and their children.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's really unique that kind of that group, because again, you're talking about very traditional marketing plays as far as newspaper, magazines, print, mailers, so very basic blocking, tackling stuff to reach that older upper end demo that you're looking at. But then with the boomers, it must really be kind of a shotgun. You must be, I'm sure that you have some secrets that you might not be willing to give out, but I'm sure there's some best practices in that, because it is very diverse. You're talking about boomers that range from early adopters who love technology and bought the iPad and waited in line for it, all the way up to somebody that says, oh, I'm never going to even text. So you're kind of meeting an interesting group. Boomers have been a group of people that have really driven this country forward long term, but it's interesting because some of them are very stodgy about technology and some of them are adopting it and jumping on it as fast as possible. So it kind of gives you an interesting challenge as a marketer about how you reach and testing different channels all the time.
It's easy to do if you do business to business. And the other thing is, many of the boomers are now having to work a little longer, and they're seeing the advantage of being able to retire to the luxury of a retirement community, or really the luxury of not having to do much when they will not want to garden or do all the manual things because they're working a little longer, and they want the advantage of a retirement community. There are some in many retirement communities, not in memory care now, remember I broke it down for you, but in the independent retirement, which would be a 55 plus demo, where they're simply downsizing to get rid of all the stuff so they can travel. Then there's the 62 plus, where they're kind of, maybe the average age is 77 rather than 83, 84. Well, the new 77 is the old 40, 57, so it's like, it's really a mentality, and I think very soon, because the aging boomer is working longer, they're going to be very tech savvy and enough that we can do the things that we need to do in that field to market to them. But right now, we're still sticking to some of the traditional media.
Yeah, it seems like that makes a lot of sense, kind of who you're going after, and overcoming that piece that you kind of talked about, that stigma of a nursing home. I'm never going there. These are communities, and really showing the benefits of getting involved in the community that you can build around yourself, and that you have people to play golf with and drink coffee with in the morning is really attractive, and it's great to hear that people are understanding that benefit. And as you mentioned too, this is not like you have to go in and buy a unit that becomes your unit. You actually do some really flexible things around this, correct?
Well, most of the retirement communities are 30-day, month-to-month rentals. In some cases, especially church-affiliated retirement communities, you may want buy-ins. Other ones, they want the comfort of knowing that it's a buy-in. It's sort of like a condo situation. So there's a variety, but the majority are now just you're there and paying 30-day rentals, and which gives you the freedom of knowing that you can stay or leave with 30 days notice. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, it's really interesting, kind of this fascinating problem or a challenge that you guys have in the two markets you're trying to go after, and kind of the shotgun effect that the boomers cause for you. So it's interesting to kind of see that industry. When we come back, we at Down to Business kind of looked at your marketing, came up with a few ideas, and I want to share those with you. So when we come back, we're going to give Judit Strand a few of our ideas from Down to Business about how they can market Harbour Pointe retirement and assisted living. We'll be right back to you.